This is Fritz Frivolous with continuous live coverage of the corner of Curious Lane and Just Because Boulevard, the epicenter of the alien invasion. And this just in, King Kong is fighting the Mobile Suit Gundam. And of course, all of this is happening amidst World War IV, making it pure pandemonium. If only Captain Planet were still alive to save us all. Dude, could you imagine?
You have reached the voicemail box of...
It's me, Mario. You know what to do. Let's go.
Hey, Mario, it's me, Browser. Anyway, I know you and I have beef, but look, man, lay off killing all my guys, would ya? I mean, they have families too, you know. You're squishing all the Goombas, kicking all the turtles out of their shells. I mean, we got rid of the damn plastic straws to save the turtles, and here you are acting like the Grim Reaper. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Oh, and I have Peach again. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
And this is Will Stark.
Will, we have exciting news.
We do. We do?
We have exciting news.
Actually, I know we do. I don't know why I'm pretending like I don't know.
Because that's how these things work, man. You have to act excited.
Well, I am excited,
even though
actually.
You're not acting like it, but we already knew. But everyone else doesn't know yet, and that's that we got our first patron on Patreon. I'm gonna add, an epic music right here.
You don't need this.
Oh no, they're gonna still be in there. Okay. But we have Gato del Agua.
Thank you, Gato del Agua.
Yes, thank you very much. He is now
cat of the water. Gato means cat, right?
Does it? I don't know.
It does. I think Gato, it's water cat. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
Cat of the water, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So he joined our Patreon as in the DCYI co-producer tier.
So we have a new co-producer of the show.
Yes, we do have a new co-producer. As a co-producer, he probably already knows this, but as DCYI co-producer, feel free to come into work dressed casually as you will receive a company t-shirt. Just make sure you don't spill any coffee on it. Because he'll also be getting a company coffee mug, a patron
Excellent.
shout out, which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Shout out.
Mm-hmm. And he also gets a fan request. And guess what?
Here it is.
Here it is.
All right.
Gato del Agua asks, what if you had to live in the last video game you played? And as a side question, it could also be, what if you could get to choose the video game that you live in?
Okay. That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
We all know the answer of where I would want to play. Let's just get that out of the way now.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I'm going to live in the Pokemon world. Are you kidding me? 10-year-old, give me an elemental monster, send me out into the world. I'm going to have an adventure. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, that would be awesome. But
why don't we get yours out of the way too? What's the one you would choose?
Okay, you know what? I've really been kind of going back and forth on this.
Okay,
and I think I mentioned to you earlier, I love the game God of War. Right?
Yes.
However, man,
that's a brutal world.
Yeah, and because he does asks like, in this question, one of the parameters is like, you get to, not only just name the game, but like, what character would you be? So to me, I'm to understand that as to mean you got to take over one of the characters. Yeah, it's not just going to be you, right? Yeah, I think that's very interesting. And obviously, if I was in the God of War, I would want to be him. I would want to be Kratos.
Kratos, okay.
But man, the hardships and the...
Yeah, doesn't like his whole family die?
Yeah, the tragedy that he has to go through. Yeah.
His lover in that one dies. Mm-hmm. I haven't finished 2018's God of War, so I don't know.
It's awesome, dude. Yeah. It's my favorite game.
He's definitely really cool. And
yeah. I mean, everything about him I loved.
Oh, no, he's great.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just his powers. You know what I mean?
On a side note, so this year for Halloween, me and my family, we all went as like classic Halloween creatures. I was a vampire. We dressed up little Liam as a werewolf. Michelle was a witch, and Scarlett was a devil. Which gave us the idea of doing like theme stuff. Oh yeah. And I was like, man, if I really like dedicate myself to fitness and grow my beard out, I could maybe do Kratos. Oh,
you probably could do a good Kratos. So that would have been good.
It's under consideration.
So if you would have been Kratos, would you have just talked to your son like, boy?
Yes, I would have kept calling him the boy.
Would he be Atreyu then?
No. We would have all done different ones. So like he would be 1 year old at that point, so he wouldn't get a say in it. Maybe we dress him up as like a little Link or something like that.
What do you think? Like your stepdaughter and your fiance would have been?
That's a great question. So Scarlett likes Minecraft a lot, so maybe as a Minecraft character, I could see her as. Good. And then I don't know what Michelle would go for.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what my wife would have been, and like, man, I'm starting to think, it's really funny, but I somehow can see her.
Oh, I know who she. Sorry, I know who.
Oh, yeah,
have you played the game Dishonored?
Oh no, I haven't played it, but I've seen.
Okay,
I've
the
seen,
main
yeah.
character is like an assassin with a mask. Mm-hmm. It's a male, but again, it's a mask. That's her favorite game in the world. What's his name? Oh God, she'd be so mad at me right now because I can't think of his name. But she would be that character.
Oh, okay.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking. You know what? Like, I'm wondering because one game I know my wife is really good at, and it's Call of Duty. So like, I don't know if there's. I mean, I guess there are technically some characters in.
I honestly wouldn't know. So.
But I was just thinking in my head. I don't know why I could see her wearing this though. There's a game called Little Nightmares, right? And there's the main character in there. She wears the like a yellow raincoat. With the classic raincoat hat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I could picture her like for Halloween or something that would be funny if she would have worn that. Not just for Halloween, but just like if she lived in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know she wouldn't like that because that game's pretty scary.
Oh,
it's
creepy. It's called Little Nightmares. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the actual question proper.
So because I don't want to go through all that tragedy, I picked.
What'd you pick?
I would go into Marvel's Spider-Man.
Okay, and
yes,
you would be Spider-Man?
I would be Spider-Man.
You know, Spider-Man's like the most tragic of all the Marvel heroes. He goes through all the heartbreak.
But in the video game.
Okay.
In the video game,
he doesn't
it didn't. Well, so far he hasn't gone through all that.
He's just married to Mary Jane and everything's okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, actually, I think at the end, I don't think they got married. I don't remember if they got married in the game.
Okay, either way,
but like
he has a happy life with Mary Jane.
Yeah, it doesn't go strictly to like the MCU. Yeah, it's different.
Okay, well that's cool.
But
I mean, Spider-Man's a good
love
pick.
that. Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Just swinging
a lot of
through the city.
responsibility, though. My God,
it will, but with great power comes great responsibility.
Of course, how could I forget? All right, let's get to the actual question, which is the last game you played. I think you should go first on this one.
Okay, man, I'm stuck being someone that I don't know. Let me just say it. It's game. Resident Evil 4 VR, right? That's the last game I was playing.
That's a classic game. I do love me some Resident Evil.
Yes, and in VR, it's a whole new level of horror. Yeah. Like these villagers. I haven't gotten that far in the game yet, but
so you're at the beginning. We're still dealing with the villagers, right?
Yes. Let me tell you a quick funny story about these stupid villagers, because some of them scare the shit out of me because of the fact that. I don't know if you remember a lot of the game, but at the beginning when you're walking through the trail and you're getting over to the village, these villagers, some of them are waiting for you, right? Because they know you're there. Mm-hmm. And so you hear like, whatever they're speaking, and they're like
speaking Spanish.
Yeah. And like, what they say, it's so fast and like loud. Like I can't understand what they're saying, but like, when you're in VR, some of them are behind you, and that's what it sounds like. Like they're right there. You know what I mean?
That's unnerving.
And like and like you have to either turn around in real life, and you're it's just creepy. But
yeah, absolutely.
But the problem that I had was I finally made it to the village, and you're trying to sneak around. You don't want them to see you, right? Yeah. So I'm going around and I'm walking around the building. And I literally, I walk right out into the open because I didn't think there was going to be people there. And I walk out in the open and there's a bunch of people that I'm like, oh shit, they saw me. And I run back and I'm waiting for them to come after me and they don't. And I'm like, oh, they didn't see me. So then I walk back to the corner and some guy walks right around the corner and I run back. I'm like, oh, damn it, he saw me. Yeah. I'm waiting. He didn't see me.
That's weird.
I poke my head out once, barely, like just to get one eye out there. And some villager from like the farthest end of that village sees me and starts yelling, and they all come after me. And I was like, "What the hell, dude? Like, there's no way she could have saw me."
So, how far in that game have you gotten?
I just got to the village, and then
you don't know any characters besides the main character.
Well, I do know. I remember the game from before too.
Oh, like this is just
Okay. I never beat the game, but I have played before. I got a little bit past. From what I remember, I got. What is it? You go down the, I think it's like the church that's in their village or whatever. Yeah. I got like just a little bit past that.
Okay, so
it's still not a lot.
So you play Resident Evil 2, right? So you're familiar with Fei Wong?
Yeah,
she shows up in this game again, so that's an option of yours.
Yeah, I do like.
Are you gonna play Leon?
Yeah, I do like Leon, but you know what? A part of me kind of wanted to also. I was trying to think of Jack Krauser.
Which one's that?
So he's basically like one of the antagonists.
Oh, okay.
And he considers himself though because he was a former partner of Leon.
right?
Okay.
But the one cool
I do
thing
not
that I
remember.
would want to be with because of him, like that I would want to be him, is that he is very skilled in knife fighting and archery, and I love archery.
Okay. So
But-
you're gonna be the bad guy.
No, but ultimately, when I started thinking about it, I would be Leon. I would have to be, because like fighting against Primerica. I mean, oops, fighting against
Umbrella
Corporation, which is Primerica. It's just I don't like I just hate that company. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Like,
you're
both
supposed to.
Umbrella Corp and Primerica, so I would have to go against
the
them.
idea here is that you are a secret agent who's been dropped off in like rural Spain, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And you're here to save the president's daughter.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So how does that go?
I'm very successful at it. No, I don't. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, just being in that VR village and like, and
You think you'd be
I was
fucked?
sweating up a storm
Yeah, I
because
bet.
like you do feel like, yes, like, you feel like the eyes on you, and like just sneaking around too makes you feel like you're just like, oh crap, like I gotta hide, you know what I mean? But ultimately I feel like I think I would be successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like, especially like the puzzles and stuff that you solve in the game, I'm all about that. I love puzzle games.
Okay.
It's just, let me ask you this.
Huh.
Me being Leon, though, do I get like his,
Training.
yeah, like am I,
I mean, that's a good question.
or is it
Like,
me just taking the place of him?
I think it's you taking the place of them.
Oh crap. Then you know what?
But at the same time, like, well, you get all his weapons and stuff. You get all that stuff. But I don't think you get his training. Because you aren't him.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was going to say then the problem is like, because I'm not that in shape. So my
okay.
problem would be when I have to run away from
You're
these
gonna have to rely on
villages
that
and stuff.
adrenaline.
Exactly. And it's going to be, I'll probably have a lot of adrenaline dumps.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced one of those?
No, I have
Where
not.
it's like after you get that big rush of
you get
adrenaline, and
exhausted.
afterwards, yes, you are like, you feel like you're just done.
I'm just funny. I'm thinking of like you getting to the president's daughter, and she's like, "Wait, they sent you?"
Oh my God, I know. She would be looking at me like, well, I guess you got to me.
Yeah,
So,
that's
right,
a
you know what I
valid
mean?
point.
Yeah,
Exactly
like-
right. That's very true.
I know. I would look at her like, shut up. get in the
What
ch-
would your reaction be to the merchandise? Like, I've got what you want, stranger. And he opens up his trench coat.
Oh,
he's
I
got
would
all
not
this stuff.
trust that guy.
So you wouldn't buy anything off him.
I mean, ultimately, I think I would have
he's
to.
the best character
yeah.
in the game.
I think I would have. But like, no.
That's
but
the person I would be, by the way, if I had been in.
Oh,
the
you would
game.
be that guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna be that dude because he obviously
Yeah,
knows
that
what's
is
going
true.
on. He's armed to the teeth, and no
I
one's
know.
after him. He's great.
When I first was thinking about my answer, I wanted to like joke with you, and I was gonna say, I want to be a villager.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Like, so I
have
could
you
just go-
have you seen any of those where sometimes if you shoot them in the head, like, they'll crack open their skull, and then those bug like tentacle things come out?
So you know what's funny is at first on the trail, and I think they did this on
I
purpose.
think their heads like split. That's
Not
what it
yet,
is.
though. Yeah,
Oh,
not yet. It was
well, you've
literally
seen it before.
everybody I shot, and I shot everybody. I shot everybody. I didn't use the knife. But the other thing that's cool though in the VR is that like you can choose this way of how to get your weapons.
Yeah.
And instead of just clicking a button or choosing it, whatever, you're literally grabbing it from your hip, from the
Oh,
holster.
that's
You're
interesting.
grabbing the knife from your shoulder in the little sheath and everything. So it's dope. Like
That's pretty cool.
like I'm, right there, like, trying to grab the gun as fast as I can. But anyways, none of that happens on the trail. When you shoot them, they just die. It doesn't look like anything, to be
Yeah, that
honest.
doesn't start happening until you get to actual village,
Well,
right?
yeah. And then all of a sudden, when they saw me and I started shooting, I was like, oh my God, her head exploded.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
So this is not really spoilers,
Mm-hmm.
but when you beat the game, the credits roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the coolest things about Resident Evil 4 is when the credits roll, you get it's not animated per se, but it's an illustrated, like page by page story of like the village and what happened. Like how they got there.
okay.
Like, because they were just a village and then things start to happen. And it's actually really sad. The way it goes
really?
down, because it's like they weren't always like this, and obviously like they got
Yeah.
infected and all that other stuff. So yeah, like when you get to the credits, don't ignore them. Like sit tight and
okay.
watch that because it's so good.
You know what? Then that's kind of cool because, like, I was telling you earlier, the one thing that did kind of bring me out of the immersion of the VR was whenever there's a cutscene, it's like you're not in VR anymore.
Yeah.
It's like you're
It's an
just
old game.
watching.
It's
Yeah,
an old
you know what I
game.
mean.
It is what
but
it is.
But if it's like that, like what you said with the credits, then I could see that because at least that way I could finally, because I know I'm going to be like sweating, you know what I mean, playing that game, and I could just finally sit down and just watch the story.
if you survive that long.
Yeah. But yeah, so if I had to live in the last game I played, I am in Resident Evil 4.
And you're pretty fucked.
And I'm pretty fucked, basically.
Okay. So, last game I played, I recently bought the Castlevania Advance Collection. And which, for those of you who don't know, it has all the Game Boy Advance versions of Castlevania. So, Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, and Aria of Sorrow. And it also has Dracula X on it, which is old Super Nintendo Castlevania. And I beat Harmony of Dissonance and I beat Circle of the Moon. And I just recently started, so I just barely began it, but I've beaten it before, Aria of Sorrow. So if I got sucked in the last game I played, it'd be Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, in which case the year is 2049.
Oh, so that's not Simon Belmont and all the ones I remember.
No. The year is 2049 in Tokyo, Japan. And I am a high schooler named Soma Cruz. And I have mysteriously awoken on the moon.
Wow, okay.
In Dracula's castle.
Wow, okay.
This game's weird.
Because his castle can teleport.
Yeah, it can teleport. Yeah, so at this point, Dracula's been killed multiple times. And he's no longer coming back because I think it was Julian Belmont who finally permanently killed him. But you end up finding out, spoilers for Aria of Sorrow, Soma Cruz is the reincarnated spirit of Dracula.
Oh, okay.
But he's not a bad person. He's just a kid. But you find this out because skeletons attack your would-be girlfriend and you rush in with a knife to save her. You kill a skeleton and the monster's like anima or whatever you want to, energy or whatever enters you. And when that happens, you're capable of using the different magics and abilities of monsters.
Oh, okay.
And so it's at that point that Alucard, who's disguised as Arukaro in Japanese, shows up and he's like, oh, this is the deal. This is who you are. We're all trapped here. And like the only way we're getting out is, I don't even remember. It was like claim the heart of the castle or some bullshit like that. Anyways, explore this fucking castle. It's Castlevania.
Yeah.
So if I'm Soma Cruz, I may not have his training, but like, do I get the soul absorbing power?
Because you're taking over that character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm taking over. It's almost like we've been like Matrix jacked into their body, right?
I would say so.
Well, no, because then we commented on how the president's daughter recognizes you as you and not Leon.
Well, no. Well, yeah, but you're porting yourself into that character's role.
Okay, cool.
So if that's what that character's role does, I mean, then you would have that
cool.
too. Yeah.
Well, then I think I'm semi fucked because this is a horrible place, but I'm actually in about as good a place as the main character was in the first place because he has no training. He's just a high school student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think.
So I guess he didn't know how to use those powers.
No, he doesn't. He's like, what just happened to me?
You wouldn't know
yes,
how
exactly. Either. And then Alucard comes out of nowhere and explains. Well, not out of nowhere. He's actually their teacher.
Yeah.
He's been living in Japan for like 100 years or something like that. Yeah. Anyways,
that would be like if I'm like, Will, I'm actually not Tom. I'm Tom O.
Well, no, like he never tells you who he is. Just if you know the game, you're like, oh, that's Alucard. Yeah. He just dyed his hair black. That's totally him. Other people show up because there's always a Belmont. So Julius Belmont shows up. He's pretty cool. One of the Belnades clans shows up. I forgot her name, and you meet them throughout the castle. But essentially, it's a classic Castlevania. So you're just going through this castle, finding weapons, killing monsters, getting their powers, and fighting horrible bosses like giant fucking demons and Cerberuses and all that stuff. So I'm terrified the entire time. I'm very, very scared, but I'm literally trapped on this moon until I conquer this castle.
I wanted to ask you a question about that.
Yeah, sure.
When you're playing it, is it like low gravity since you're on the moon? Or do they not really address that? It's just that
I don't think
Dracula's
they address
castle?
that, actually. But to be fair, Soma Cruz jumps really high, and maybe that's a justification for it.
Oh, okay.
He jumps about as high as a video game character jumps, which is way higher than normal people can jump.
Yeah.
So there's your reasoning. But yeah, like we're fighting skeletons and sirens and witches and all the horrible monsters. I think I got at best a 50-50 chance of getting out of here alive. Unless, like, here's a question. Do we realize we're in the game we're in?
Oh, you know what? Man, I don't think he left parameters, but yeah, I would say so.
Okay, then I'm good because I'm gonna recognize certain enemies. Like, oh yeah, if I farm 9 of this thing's soul, I'll get this power. And like, oh, I know that really good weapon drops over here. And then next thing you know, I'm just slowly, methodically conquering the castle room by room.
Yeah.
And by the end, I'm as strong as Dracula, and I win.
And and I would think too, like in mine, you know, once I see, especially like the Umbrella Corporation insignia and all that, I would know. You know what I mean? I would be like, well, actually, no. You know what? No,
yeah,
my
but
action.
The thing is, like, you haven't beaten the game before.
Yeah.
So you're
but
you're
see,
in
the
trouble.
problem would be, I was just about to say my reaction would be like, oh, I know what game. No, actually, my real reaction would be like, oh. Fuck. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, God dang it. Like,
so all in all, I think I become Dracula, but like good Dracula. And
good Dracula.
Yeah, I become a good, immortal, vampiric being.
Man.
Yay.
Yes. But dude, could you imagine?
This just in, a new study suggests leaving an Apple Podcast review is very important for a newly created podcast. So please don't forget to leave an Apple Podcast review. In financial news, Patreon supporters are among the most appreciated in the podcast industry. You can support the DCYI team by heading over to patreon.com/dude could you imagine. This has been Fritz Frivolous, reminding you to like, comment, and subscribe. Will and Tom, back to you. You know when you were born. You may even know the exact minute. However, no one knows when they will die. Even medical experts are only able to give an estimate when informing patients about their remaining days. But what if you knew exactly when you will die? How would that affect your life? What changes would you make? How would you continue to live knowing exactly when your death will occur? Let us listen in to our two angels of death, Will and Tom, as we take the time to look for an answer. And we're back.
Indeed, we have.
Will, this next question, actually, I was talking to this with a couple of my friends at a Halloween party, and I just thought it was going to be something.
I thought we were out of the spooky times, Tom. What is
Oh,
this?
it is.
Okay.
I mean, kind of.
We just did Resident Evil and Dracula thing. I'm like, are we back? Is it October again?
It is Halloween perpetually for us all the time. No, and I actually thought it was interesting enough that I wanted to see your view on this.
Oh, okay.
And the question is, what if you knew when you were going to die?
Okay. Parameters.
The parameters, yes. Parameters is some witchy old woman. No, just like, no. The parameters is,
beware, the 5th of November.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I know.
I wouldn't believe her.
Yeah.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
know what? Actually, you know what? Hold on. That's funny. So you're out and about,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
You're
yeah,
just
sure.
doing your own business, and some old lady actually
Uh-huh.
bumps into you. And when she turns around, she just goes, I have seen your death, and it takes place 30 years from now, exactly to this date.
Okay. What day is it? I'm just curious.
So it is.
Oh, we're doing today?
Yes.
So the 5th of November?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 30 years.
I don't believe her.
Well, okay. Okay. So
I mean,
she touches you.
Would you believe her?
If it was like that, yeah, I would just look at her like, yeah, okay. Security. You know. I mean, no, but when she touches you, see, this is you know what? This would be very hard as a parameter, I guess, if I chose this as the parameter.
Why?
Because I was about to say she shows you, but you don't know how you die.
Oh, you
That's
don't.
the
So
thing,
you don't
no.
want to show me how I
Yeah,
die, just that
but
I do die.
let's say she's telling the truth.
Okay.
Or if you want to go the scientific route,
Forever.
you
How
know.
about this? Like forever. Like I wonder, is it true?
Yeah, that could be true.
Okay. So how far in the future is my death? 30 years.
30
It's
years. 30
I'm
years.
32 now, so 62. Okay. A little younger than I would have expected, but I kind of worked myself to death, so
Yeah.
not that surprised. Okay. What years have fallen? So we're talking 2051, so I make it to 2050. That's cool. My son will be 30 years old, so I get to see him grow up. All in all, I'm chill about it.
You know what? It's within the next 10 years.
Okay. All right. Well,
Let's make it harder on you.
do I? I don't. I don't know how it happened, so I don't even know how to change it.
Yeah, it's within the next 10. It's in exactly 10 years. So November 5th, 2031.
Can I ask her how?
Yeah, and
Well, how
she
do I
says
know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask her. Can it be prevented?
No.
Oh, well then,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. Like I'm
It
just gonna
cannot
live
be
my
prevented.
fucking life now.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I'm going out when I'm 42, which is way younger than I would like to go out. It's hard because I don't believe her, so I'm not going to plan accordingly. But if I knew I had 10 years to live, if I like knew it,
I was going to go with some like, you know, scientific route where like maybe there's some medical technology that all of a sudden, you know, they had and they use it. So that way then the doctor tells you like, hey, you know what? Like this calculates when you're going to die, and this is when 10 years from now, you know, whatever. It calculates right to the day.
Like if we went like that, like we would have a reason or a likely reason, and like these are the things you can do to probably extend your lifespan. Because there's no way they're going to scientifically guess I get in a car crash. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
that's why I went with like this magic route of this old
right, the old crone who changed it from 30 to 10.
Yeah,
because I was too chill about it.
You know what though? Actually, let's go to some Fritz facts.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
Fritz facts.
So I looked up some interesting facts about, you know, death. Right?
Okay.
As one does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
But I found some interesting things. Like, you can be declared dead in some states, but considered alive in others. And that's because New York and New Jersey allow families to reject the concept of brain death if it goes against their religious beliefs.
Okay. So, like, the body's still alive, but the brain's no longer functioning?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This one, actually, I thought was interesting because we just talked about it in one of our last episodes, which was Neo Angeles Rock City, where we're talking about, like, if you got frozen, like cryogenically frozen, right? Mm-hmm. Today, there are about 300 bodies frozen in liquid nitrogen in America in the hopes that science will one day be able to bring them back to life.
Right.
Contrary to popular belief, Walt Disney is not one of them. I don't know if you ever heard that. People always say like, "Oh,
yes,
Walt Disney."
I have heard of that. That's an interesting one. Maybe I take that route. No.
What do you mean?
Well, I was thinking like if I know I'm going to die in 10 years, maybe right before the moment I die, I cryogenically freeze myself, which could be considered dying. So there I died in 10 years. But I don't want to voluntarily freeze myself if I could have lived longer.
You know, it would be really weird too. Is if this would be some weird paradox, right? Mm-hmm. Is if that's the reason you do it on that day.
Yeah.
And that's actually the reason why you die.
Exactly. You know yes, that's what I mean. It's like
that would be really
a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I have 10 years to live, 10 years, I think, I mean, it kind of changes the trajectory of my life. I think, funnily enough, I stopped podcasting.
Oh, okay.
And I start...
I never would thought you'd stop.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of brainstorming it because it's like I want to spend more time with my friends and family, but at the same time, I want to leave my family as financially stable as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're definitely taking like a crazy good life insurance policy out on my ass.
Yeah, that was one thing I was thinking.
Definitely
in my head,
doing that so that they're definitely
because they wouldn't know. They you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna know that.
Who?
The insurance company.
Oh yeah, they have a fucking idea. So that works out. Well, let's just say that like I do that, so I know they'll be good. Mm-hmm. But I would probably try and spend less time working in general and try and find a way in which I can spend more quality time with my friends and family. But at the same time, like without money, it kind of puts me and my family in a tough spot, and I don't expect them to deal with 10 years of like not having good support.
See, okay, this is one thing I wanted to ask you and bring up though. Mm-hmm. And you're talking as if, you know, like they would you let them know? Like, would you, because like, I don't know if I can tell my wife that information because I would not want her. I think that would constantly occupy her mind. Yeah, right? I wouldn't want her to go through that harsh, like thoughts and just it would just be in my mind. It would just be terrible to know that because I think that's all she could focus on. You know what I mean?
It's difficult because we're talking about like 10 years, right? So like I'm only ever going to see my son turn to 10, right? And every moment I'm not spending time with him, I'm losing out on those 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's tough. And how do I explain to, you know, my significant other why I'm making these decisions that maybe aren't necessarily good decisions for like the long view? So how do I do it without telling her? I think I'd just tell her, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I know you would tell your sister right away.
I
think,
definitely.
I know.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would just be honest about it. Although, like, it has to be a scenario in which I could get them to believe me. Yeah. Which you haven't really given me that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's hard. It's hard to think of, why this would be.
Like maybe I just have a
like,
recurring dream that just never stops. So
and
like,
you just convince
eventually
yourself that it is
we have
true.
to give it some form of credence. Like
Yeah.
maybe I will, maybe I won't. But like I want to operate a little bit as if it's true. You know what I mean? Maybe find a balance between the two. I probably spend more time making music. I would probably spend more time making music, but I would drop the podcast because they take a lot of my time and a lot of my energy.
Yeah.
I'm essentially working 2 jobs, and that would have to stop. Like we'd have to figure out a better way to financially make do with my 9 to 5, and then I'm never working overtime. Every weekend I'm spending with my friends and family and doing the stuff I love and making music and experiencing stuff and like giving my family the best 10 years I possibly can give them.
Yeah. I feel like, and this was brought up earlier with my friends, one of the things I started thinking about was, well, I would do all those too.
Yeah.
But there would be this other side of me who would start doing a lot of stuff I would be scared to do now, especially
because you know you're not going to die.
Because I know I'm not going to die. You know
That's
what I mean?
interesting. Can you give me examples?
Yeah. So, like things like skydiving.
I've never
things
done that.
like
Heights kill me.
Yeah, same here. But now that I know that I can't die from it, like I would do those. I would try like, I don't know. I would just think of like the most odd things that like people do that are dangerous. Like maybe with
Climb into the mouth of a lion.
I was just about to bring that, especially with wild animals, because I think we talked about this in another episode. I am so curious that I have to touch, like, especially if someone says, don't touch this animal. I'm like, I want to touch that animal now,
Ridiculous, man.
I know. And now that I know that I couldn't die. I was going to say, now that I know I couldn't die, I would definitely be going with these dangerous animals.
I don't know if I've told you this, but I've pet a rhino before.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
Oh, you have as well. Did you do it at San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego Zoo.
We had the same experience.
Oh, okay.
And
you got to feed them too, right?
Yes.
It was so cool. And the giraffe?
No, they didn't have the giraffe the time I went. But okay, never mind. Moving on.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I just.
But okay, that's interesting. I don't know if. Again, I would be operating under the maybe this is true, maybe this isn't. So I don't think I would be confident enough to do that. Plus, I don't think knowing that I couldn't die would help me with the heights thing because I have an extremely strong like phobia. Like it's like a deep primal like I kind of like I can't control myself fear.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'd be able to like push through that.
You know what I just thought of though, based off of what we're just talking about right now, was. That would be interesting then if you knew like your death, right? This has to go on the predicated on the idea that you really do believe it and it is true, right? Then what if you did something where you tried to kill yourself? What would happen?
Probably like a bunch of like freak things, like the rope would break. Or you would just somehow maim yourself instead of like you would be unsuccessful.
Now that would suck.
Yes,
if you just like injured yourself so badly, but you did not die.
Yeah. Or like instead of drowning, like you fucked your brain up and they got you out in time and now you're a vegetable.
Yeah, I was looking at it more of like that would be cool if it was like Domino, the character Domino from like Deadpool 2,
yeah.
And like you could just go willy nilly about doing whatever you want and just
we're back to the dangerous things. Like that spider might not kill you, but now you have to have your arm amputated.
I know that would.
Your skydiving didn't kill you, but you broke your spine and you can't walk now.
Once again, Will, your logic crushed my dream. No,
I'm sorry, man. Stop having dreams. It's a bad idea.
I know. No, but you're right. You know what I mean? Because like, what if? Let's say if this scenario was real, I would probably have to come talk to you first. I think what I would do is before I made any decision, I'd be like, "Hey, Will, I'm thinking about doing this," and you'd be like, "Well,
Tom."
Yeah. And I'll be like, damn it, you're right.
I think I would definitely suffer from a fear of wasting time. And that would be one of my biggest struggles. It's like, I want to watch this movie because, it's about this thing that I'm really interested in, or it's a story I've been really interested in. But like, it's 3 hours long. Do I really want to waste 3 of my hours? You know what I mean?
I never thought about things like that.
Like I think I would struggle with that, even though like that's kind of not exactly logical. We do that shit all the time, and we have no idea how long we have on this earth. I could literally die on my way home tonight. So.
But also too, that's true. And also though, the thing about you're talking about like watching this movie, unless that's like some point of entertainment, some point of quality time that you spend with someone, and then I would do that still. If I knew,
that's the thing. It's like if it's with a loved one, that definitely helps.
One thing that we also kind of touched upon when we were talking about this was your financials.
Mm-hmm.
I think for sure I'm getting the biggest loan that I can get. And you know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
And then if I die, the leftovers go to they shred your
You know
will,
what?
huh?
I wonder.
It's just
Yeah,
that your loved ones can't inherit your debt, but like your estate will get will definitely.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, there may be that, but because the thing is like I definitely won't work. I couldn't if I knowing that.
Well, that's hard.
Yeah.
You need to work. Like the
You have
biggest,
the
even the biggest
income,
loan you
but,
can
like,
get isn't enough to span 10
that's
years.
yeah.
Like what are you gonna get? Like maybe a couple $100,000. That's not enough to like to spread out in a way that you'd want to.
Yeah. But I mean, in order for time wise, you know what I mean? That would be
that's the tough thing.
Man, that would, yeah.
That's a tough quandary because you have to find the balance. And yeah, every moment you're at work, you're not at home, and you're not doing something that you'd rather be doing. But also, I think it'd be maybe not for me, or maybe for me, and I just don't know. And like you also have to deal with the depression, like the realization of your own mortality, like and how finite it is. Like,
we didn't touch that.
You're struggling with the looming death over you. You know what I mean?
I think, yeah, that could be crippling to many.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it very well could be. And like it's hard to know whether it would be or not for me. So
yeah, I know, exactly. Let me ask you this. Would you still take care of your health? Like, would you still try to eat healthy and all that?
Yeah, probably. Because I wouldn't like, I have a fairly big aversion to like, getting too out of shape. Like that's not the person I want to be. That's not how I want to look. That's not how I
need my
want to
corpse
feel.
to look good in my casket.
No, it's not that. It's just like I don't know. Like I've had fluctuating weight before. Like I've been heavier. I've been much fitter, and I always felt better, fitter. I always felt better, healthier, more energetic. And every time I fall out of shape, like I feel like shit.
Yeah.
And like maybe it's mental, maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely feel the difference when I'm more in shape. So if anything, I'd probably exercise more. I enjoy exercising.
And you could do a lot of damage within 10 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think I would go opposite. I'd probably really indulge myself with whatever. Yeah. I may not get to the point like where it would, cause like physical ailments where I couldn't go walking around anymore or anything like that. But I would probably gain definitely way more weight than I am now.
And then watch you die of a heart attack.
Well, I don't know. In 10 years.
Oh, that's my point. It's like, and you wouldn't have died of
a
heart attack.
You mean, I know. Yeah. Again, the self-fulfilling prophecy. That would be so weird. That would be.
I don't know. I think it'll almost be hard for me to indulge on the food thing just because like, yeah, food tastes great. And I do love eating and cooking and whatnot. But like, I don't know, with the idea of like, death coming and all that other stuff, it's like I don't have time to eat. Like food is so inconsequential to me in this grander scheme of these 10 years I have. No, don't get me wrong. I don't judge you for not feeling that way.
Yeah.
Like food is a passion for a lot of people, and like if anything, they have the opposite feeling of like I want to taste all the things and partake of all the things. Of course you do. You have limited time, but that's just probably how I would feel about it.
No, but I do see your point because I was about to ask you like and I thought you would feel this way too, and you do, which is, it's another thing that's going to take time. Eating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would just want to scarf it down so you could go on.
Going out to eat at a nice place and eating good food with my family, that sounds great. But but spending like time and energy being like hunting down like good food and trying to indulge, that sounds bothersome to me. Although I understand the other point of view. But think about it like this: we talked a little bit about this in one of our episodes. I don't remember which one, but a lot of times people on death row have trouble eating their last meal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and like every meal would feel like a last meal to me.
I know, man. So, like you would have to every time you would have to just be like, well, I need this and I need to have this because I'm,
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the time frame of 10 years, that's got to be, I wonder how much of that would happen because well, I still got 10 years. Maybe that would happen more in the last year or something like that, or the last 2 years.
It would probably fix, a lot of people struggle with procrastination. It'd probably fix that part of me because I would be like, no, let's go. We don't got time. Let's go camping. Let's go on that trip. Let's do that thing that we always said we would do. Let's, so.
Yeah, I could see that. You would always have I guess everything would be more planned out then, huh? If you knew that, you would probably schedule things a lot.
Maybe, but it's less about whether things would be more planned out, and it'd be like we would just be more active. Mm-hmm. We would definitely be doing more and sitting around a little less for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the long story short, like I would not want to know. You know what I mean? I wouldn't like if I was given the choice of like. You can know for certain right now when you'll die.
Yeah.
I would not.
I would not want to know.
Yeah,
I may not even want to know how I died, depending on if it's something that's changeable. You know what I mean? Something that can change it. You know what I mean? And if there's
like
not
you can
a way,
change it.
Yeah. Like if there's not a way, like if someone says, well, you're going to die in a car crash. And then I'm like, well, I'm never going to be in a car again or something like that, you know, but they're like, no, it doesn't matter. Like it's going to happen.
Right.
You know, if you couldn't change it, then yeah, I still wouldn't want to know that either. You know what I mean?
That's true. Although wouldn't it be crazy if like you do agree, like somehow you super buy into this fortune teller and you're totally into it. And like, you're not, yeah, tell me. And then she gives you some sort of wild answer. Like, you'll die in 1,500 years.
What?
You know, you'll die in 1,500 years, and the cause of your death will be poisoning by someone you trusted.
In 1,500
Yes.
years?
It's someone. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What would you think? What would you think happened to get you there?
Well, first of all, I'll be like, give me my money back.
No.
No.
And you 100% believe her.
Okay, I don't believe her. Oh man, the only way I could see that is within this 1,500 years, I either have amassed a massive amount of wealth or have become very powerful to the point where someone needed me to go, like, or I harmed someone, right, to poison me.
Oh no, I'm asking. Okay, that's not what I'm asking.
Oh, what
I'm asking is like how do you what happened in your life that made it so you survived 1,500 years?
Oh yeah, I kind of glazed that over.
You're like, all right. Well, now it's the future.
Yeah, I was like, well, I am gonna live 1,500 years. Man, if somebody told me that, I would feel like it would have to be something to do with medical technology. Right. I feel like I probably got into some really bad accident. At some point, medical technology has come to the point where they were able to give me augmented body parts or something. And because of that, now I'm going to be giving a lifespan of around 1,500 or whatever.
Right.
You know?
So for me, the two things that pop into my head are one, maybe I did the cryogenically frozen thing and then I got revived later on. Maybe 1,500 years, maybe less, either or.
I see what you're saying.
Maybe at some point in our lifespan, they figure out how to reverse biological aging.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and I survived long enough, and I got lucky enough to be part of like the tests or the implementation of it across the board. And then bam, I lived another 1,500 years until I got poisoned by some asshole.
Yeah, I know, right? Like who's the jealous one?
Yeah.
You know? But dude, could you imagine?
And now, let's join Will and Tom with the traffic report.
And it's Will and Tom with the traffic report. So, Will, we recently had a question submitted by one of our listeners, and he goes by Bruce Powell, but he also goes by Deadwood Lake.
Thank you, Bruce.
Mm-hmm. And his question, I don't know if you remember, is the one where he was asking if we could pick certain musicians, right?
The super band.
Yeah, the super musical group.
That was a fun one.
That was an awesome one,
Still never named my band.
I know. And you know what? If anyone is listening and you still have a good suggestion for band names, go ahead. Actually, you know what? We did get one suggestion, and it was actually from Sasha Titus.
Oh, okay.
Sasha writes, I like the dictionary flip or random name generator for naming things.
Oh, okay.
She says, how do y'all feel about raging sprites and grubby bears?
I mean, those are fun. I don't know if they fit my band, but like, I don't know what name would fit my band.
I know. I can't think of one that would be good for mine either. But I did want to mention that Deadwood Lake, he picked his band. And he says he would pick Geddy Lee from Rush. From Rush, bass and vocals.
Okay, so lead singer, bass.
Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth.
I'm not too familiar with Opeth, but I hear they're fucking phenomenal. Like everyone who loves Opeth that I know loves Opeth.
Oh, okay. They would be guitar and vocals. Steven Wilson, from Porcupine Tree.
I've never heard of that band.
Yeah, I haven't. They would be guitar, vocals, and production.
Oh wow.
Brand Daler from Mastodon.
That's a really good band.
Okay, they would be drums and
would
vocals.
Fall under death metal.
Oh, death metal. Yeah. Okay.
Very good band.
Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater.
Dream Theater is a crazy good band. So
really?
I can't remember the name of their genre, but Dream Theater is like it's like operatic virtuoso style playing where like we're talking about like shredding sweeping guitars.
Oh, okay.
Just picture like 6 musicians at the absolute peak of their ability of playing their instrument all playing together in a metal band.
Wow, really?
That's phenomenal.
They said Jordan Rudess, for Dream Theater it would be keyboards. And then Troy Donnickley from Nightwish.
Nightwish is, I believe, a power metal band. I've listened to a few other tracks. I didn't get into them, but I do like power metal a lot, and they're a well-known, popular band.
They said Troy would be various folk instruments and backing vocals.
Okay. So maybe they're more of a folk metal band.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought they were more power metal. What do I know?
Sounds like an awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
sounds
band.
really cool. I like the genre pools. That's pretty cool.
Then we also have a comment from Cameron Turner. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you, Cameron.
We have this comment all the way back from the beginning, Will. Episode 1.
Episode 1, okay.
Mind Reading Kaiju.
I remember.
And in that episode, we were talking about... the reason we brought up that question was because of the fact that Kong versus Godzilla just came out again. Right.
I never ended up seeing it.
I didn't. No, I didn't either. I know. But Cameron writes, Godzilla breathes nuclear lightning / fire shit, though. Also, he could drag Kong into the water. And does Godzilla not have thumbs? He doesn't remember.
I don't think he does. It would be strange if Godzilla did have thumbs. They tend to be a mammalian trait.
I'll be honest with you. Now that I'm picturing his hands, especially the old, like the old Godzilla ones, I think he does.
Well, the old Godzilla ones is a dude in a suit. Though.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what I mean?
I refuse to believe until shown visual proof of modern Godzilla that it has thumbs.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. But he says, but anyway, I think the giant intelligent nuclear sea monster beats a big ape. Kong gets shot and it hurts him. Godzilla gets nuked and he's fine. Seems like Superman versus Batman, except Batman isn't all that much smarter, at least from the movies I've seen.
I don't know. I haven't seen Kong versus Godzilla, so I got no opinion on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Godzilla seems like the bigger, stronger, obvious win.
Yeah, now that I say that, I think, you know what? I think we might have tried to be on the side of Kong.
Well, the thing is, okay, so in the new movies that I've only seen a couple of, specifically in Kong Skull Island, they paint the Kong species as like the protectors of man against all kaiju. I think there's even like a fucking throne, like essentially where
it's like
Kong is king of monsters. So like, don't get me wrong, like traditionally Godzilla definitely would beat Kong, and like maybe that's how it went in the movies. I don't know, but they definitely set up Kong to be like the thing that was going to grow bigger and strong enough to defend mankind from the bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. But we always love to hear from you guys, so if you would like, just please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
And that is all we have for you tonight. We will continue to bring you up-to-date coverage as new imaginings develop. Please don't forget, you could join our Patreon at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. Another way to support our podcast is by leaving an Apple Podcast review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel where you can leave a like and a comment. If you would like to contact us with what you are imagining, you can email us at dudecouldyoumagine@gmail.com. This has been Fritz Frivolous, and from all of us here at Dude Could You Imagine, keep on imagining.
That was a good one.
Dracula comes up on our show a lot.
I know, right?
What's up with that?
That's so funny.